What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestlers, Toys, and Stuff. Today, is a Universe Mode video where I draft only CAWS. And I ran out of space to download people for Royal Rumble videos, so I ain't gonna do the recreation Rumbles anymore. I'm just gonna find other stuff to do. I'll still play I'm gonna do my Rise. I'm eventually gonna do the GM mode. I'm gonna do more of these, and I might play my faction. That mode sounds boring to me, but I might play it. So, Aaron Matthews, aka Simply Better AM, getting drafted. Adam Pearce, AJ Lee, Andrade El Idolo, Ashton Smith, Billy Cranston of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Brandy Lauren, Brandy Rhodes, Brandon Collins, aka BDE, Brent from My Rise, Brody King, Braun Breaker, Brutus Creed of the Creed Brothers. If you've been following my channel for a while, you would know Caddy Led, Cameron. Then we have Cangrahita Loca from My Rise, Carmelo Hayes, another superstar that you would know if you've been following my channel, Cena Hardy. Then we have Channing Lorenzo, Chase from My Rise, Chris Danger, aka Denkoffs, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Cole Quinn, Corey Graves, Ed Nothing, another guy, El Mago and El Mago Jr. and El Ordinario, all from My Rise, Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly, Ezekiel, who I don't have a render image for just yet because the game takes forever to load, Geneva Rose, Gigi Dolan of Toxic Attraction, my sister, we have Ivory, Jacqueline, and JC Jane. Then we have Jason of the Power Rangers, Paragon J. Pierce of My Rise. Then we have Joe Gacy, John Moxley, Josie Jane, Julius Creed, Jungle Boy, my stepfather. We have Kaden Carter, who doesn't have an image yet. My other sister, Kenny Omega, Kimberly of the Power Rangers, Kit Wilson, Corey Klein, LA Knight, whose new name is Max Dupree, but I'm gonna call him LA Knight, I don't care. Then we have La Venganza, Lightning Storm, Luchasaurus, Madcap Moss, Malachi Black, Matt Hardy, Matt Jackson, MJF, Mako Satomura, Melee Fan, Mysterio Lang, me, Nick Jackson, Noam Dar, Nyla Rose, Oliver Carter, Paige, Pat McAfee, Penta Oscuro, Phoenix Nitro, Ramus Flytrap, Ray Phoenix, or Phoenix, however you want to pronounce it, Riho, Robin Ray, Ronda Rousey, Ruby Soho, my mom, and then next is Solo Sikoa, Tasia Meadows, Theodore Shore, Tommy Oliver of the Power Rangers, Tony D'Angelo, Trini of the Power Rangers, Troy Donovan, who also got released from WWE, but I kept him anyway. Wendy Chu, and Zion Quinn, and Zack of the Power Rangers. I'll be back with the, I'll do the title divisions, and then I'll be back. Alright, on to the first pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Let's see, so we have Troy Donovan going one-on-one with Billy Cranston, Jungle Boy going one-on-one with Chris Danger, Brody King going one-on-one with Penta Oscuro, and then the women's Money in the Bank ladder match consists of Ronda Rousey, Jacqueline, my sister Haley, Mako Satomura, Trini of the Power Rangers, Wendy Chu, Brandy Lauren, and Robin Ray. Then we have Lightning Storm going one-on-one with Tommy Oliver, Brandon Collins going one-on-one with Aaron Matthews, MJF versus Cody Rhodes, and then we have the Creed brothers going one-on-one, Cena Hardy goes one-on-one with Ed Nothing, and then the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is Caddy Led, Ashton Smith, Mysterio Lang, who you can't see because Ashton Smith's picture, myself, who you also can't see, and then Oliver Carter, Kenny Omega, Zack of the Power Rangers, and Rey Fenix. So let's see. Billy defeated Troy Donovan, Jungle Boy defeats Chris Danger, Penta defeats Brody King, Mako Satomura is Miss Money in the Bank, Lightning Storm defeats Tommy Oliver, Brandon Collins defeats Aaron Matthews, and oops, I forgot to set the world champions. I forgot to set who the champions were. Cody Rhodes defeated MJF, Brutus Creed defeated his brother, Cena Hardy defeated Ed Nothing, and Zack is Mr. Money in the Bank. So, I think how I'm going to do this there was no other women's match. No other women's match. So, I am just going to pick a random person that was in this match and make them the women's champion. And then, Cody Rhodes should be world champion. And then we have Jungle Boy as the North American champion. So I'll do that real quick. Cody Rhodes, Jungle Boy, and we'll put Wendy Chu right there. Alright, so on to WrestleMania Backlash. We have Jungle Boy defending the North American Championship against my stepdad, Justin. Then we have Wendy Chu defending against Miss Money in the Bank, Mako Satomura. Then we have Mysterio Lang going one-on-one with Caddy Led, Penta Oscuro going one-on-one with Billy, MJF going one-on-one with Ed Nothing, Cody Rhodes defending the NXT Championship against Mr. Money in the Bank, Cena Hardy goes one-on-one with Lightning Storm, I am going one-on-one with Kenny Omega, and then Zack cashes in later. What if you become champion, then you're cashing in on yourself? So, Jungle Boy retains the North American Championship. Mako Satomura becomes Women's Champion and Miss Money in the Bank. Caddy Led defeats Mysterio Lang. Billy defeats Penta. Ed Nothing defeats MJF. Cody retains in that match. Lightning Storm defeats Cena Hardy. Kenny Omega defeated me. And Cody Rhodes retains again. Alright, next is the horror show at Extreme Rules. We have Cody Rhodes defending against Zack again. Kenny Omega goes one-on-one with Ed Nothing. I'm facing MJF this time. Cena Hardy goes one-on-one with Caddy Led. Mysterio Lang goes one-on-one with Tommy. Brandon Collins goes one-on-one with Brutus Creed. Jungle Boy defends the North American Championship against CM Punk. Lightning Storm goes one-on-one with Billy. And then Meiko Satomura defends the Women's Championship against the former champion Wendy Chu in an Extreme Rules match. Who wins? So Zack is the new World Champion. Ed Nothing defeats Kenny Omega. MJF defeated me. Of course he does. Cena Hardy defeats Caddy Led. Mysterio Lang defeats Tommy Oliver. Brandon Collins defeats Brutus Creed. Jungle Boy is still the North American Champion. Billy defeats Lightning Storm. And Wendy Chu wins back her Women's Championship. Alright, on to SummerSlam. So we have Lightning Storm going one-on-one with Brandon Collins. Kenny Omega going one-on-one with MJF. I'm going one-on-one with Cody Rhodes. Meiko Satomura gets her rematch against Wendy Chu. Billy's going one-on-one with Luchasaurus. Brutus Creed's going one-on-one with Penta Oscuro. Mysterio Lang's going one-on-one with Caddy Led. Cena Hardy's going one-on-one with Ed Nothing. Jungle Boy's defending the North American Championship against the current IRL North American Champion Carmelo Hayes in a no-holds-barred match. And then Zack is defending the World Championship against Paragon J. Pierce in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So Lightning Storm defeats Brandon Collins. MJF defeats Kenny Omega. I lose to Cody Rhodes. Wendy Chu retains. Billy defeats Luchasaurus. Penta defeats Brutus Creed. Mysterio Lang defeats Caddy Led. Ed Nothing defeats Cena Hardy. Jungle Boy retains the North American Championship. And Zack retains the World Championship. On to Payback. So we have Jungle Boy defending against Justin. Wendy Chu defending against Meiko Satomura again. In a no-holds-barred match this time. And then I'm going one-on-one with Kenny Omega. Brutus Creed's going one-on-one with Tommy. Brandon's going one-on-one with Penta. Cody Rhodes is going one-on-one with Caddy Led. And then we have a triple threat match between MJF, Cena Hardy, and Ed Nothing. And then Lightning Storm's going one-on-one with Mysterio Lang. And the two Power Rangers are facing each other in a no-holds-barred match for the World Championship. Jungle Boy is still the North American Champion. Wendy Chu is still the Women's Champion. Kenny Omega defeated me. Tommy defeats Brutus Creed. Brandon defeated Penta. Cody defeated Caddy Led. MJF won the triple threat match. Lightning Storm defeats Mysterio Lang. And Zack retains the World Championship. On to Clash of Champions. We have Cena Hardy going one-on-one with Ed Nothing. Brandon going one-on-one with Penta. Caddy Led going one-on-one with me. Mysterio Lang going one-on-one with Tommy Oliver. And then we have a triple threat match between Kenny Omega, MJF, and Cody Rhodes. Lightning Storm going one-on-one with Paragon. Carmelo Hayes gets another North American Championship opportunity. Billy gets another world title opportunity. And I guess Meiko Satomura won the Women's Championship on a random episode of NXT. So Wendy Chu gets her rematch in a last woman standing match. So Cena Hardy defeated Ed Nothing. Brandon defeats Penta again. I finally get a win on pay-per-view defeating Caddy Led. Mysterio Lang defeats Tommy Oliver. Kenny Omega wins the triple threat match. Lightning Storm defeats Paragon. Jungle Boy is still the North American champion. Zack is still the NXT champion, and Wendy Chu wins back her championship. On to Hell in a Cell. So we have a Lightning Storm going one-on-one with Brandon Collins. Wendy Chu defends against Meiko Satomura. I'm going one-on-one with Kenny Omega. MJF goes one-on-one with Cena Hardy. Cody Rhodes goes one-on-one with Ed Nothing. Mysterio Lang going one-on-one with Brutus Creed. Zack defends the World Championship against Billy again. Jungle Boy defends against CM Punk inside the Hell in a Cell. And then we have Corey Graves versus Carmelo Hayes inside Hell in a Cell. So Brandon Collins defeats Lightning Storm. Wendy Chu retains the Women's Championship. I defeat Kenny Omega. Cena Hardy defeats MJF. Ed Nothing defeats Cody Rhodes. Brutus Creed defeats Mysterio Lang. Zack is still the World Champion. Jungle Boy is still North American Champion. And Carmelo Hayes defeats Corey Graves. On to Survivor Series. Let's see what the Survivor Series matches are. We have Lightning Storm going one-on-one with Brandon Collins. And then we have Team Creed versus Team Andrade. We have Brutus Creed, Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, and Matt Jackson. So technically it's Team Elite, I should say. With Brutus Creed as the team captain. Versus Andrade El Idolo, Madcap Moss, Channing Lorenzo, and Troy Donovan. And then we have Wendy Chu defends the Women's Championship against Meiko Satomura again. Oh, I think Meiko Satomura cashed in on that one episode of NXT. That's how she won the title back. And then I'm going one-on-one with MJF. Cody Rhodes goes one-on-one with Mysterio Lang. And then Corey Graves versus Carmelo Hayes again. Jungle Boy defends against Justin. Cena Hardy goes one-on-one with Ed Nothing. And then we have this match again. And then we have Team Brandy versus Team Samantha. We have Brandy Lauren, my sister Kayla, Ruby Soho, and Can Grajita Loca versus my mom, Robin Ray, Riho, and Brandy Rhodes. So Brandon Collins defeats Lightning Storm. Team Andrade defeats Team Brutus. Wendy Chu retains. MJF defeated me. Cody Rhodes defeats Mysterio Lang. Carmelo Hayes defeats Corey Graves. Justin ends Jungle Boy's reign of terror and is the new North American champion. Ed Nothing defeats Cena Hardy. Billy ends Zack's reign of terror and becomes the new world champion. And Team Brandy wins. Next is TLC. Let's see what matches we have here for TLC. We have Billy defends against Brutus Creed. Wendy Chu finally gets a new opponent and is defending against Can Grajita Loca. Kenny Omega goes against Troy Donovan. MJF versus Cody Rhodes. Mysterio Lang faces me. Cena Hardy faces Ed Nothing. Lightning Storm versus Zack. A triple threat match for the a triple threat TLC match for the North American Championship as Justin defends against Carmelo Hayes and CM Punk. And then we have Jason versus Jungle Boy. Brutus Creed is the new world champion. I never thought I would hear those words come out of my mouth. Wendy Chu retains the Women's Championship. Kenny Omega defeats Troy Donovan. MJF defeats Cody Rhodes. Mysterio Lang defeats me. Ed Nothing defeats Cena Hardy. Zack defeats Lightning Storm. That was pretty predictable, though. CM Punk is the new North American champion. And then Jason defeats Jungle Boy. On to the Royal Rumble. I wonder how many Royal Rumble matches there will be. So we have Ed Nothing versus Zack. Brandon Collins versus Troy Donovan. Wendy Chu defends against Can Grajita Loca. And then we have the Women's Royal Rumble match. MJF versus Cena Hardy. Brutus Creed defends against Kenny Omega. Lightning Storm defends against Mysterio Lang. CM Punk defends against Tony D'Angelo. Then we have Jason versus Jungle Boy in a last man standing match. And then we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. So we have Zack defeated Ed Nothing. Brandon Collins defeated Troy Donovan. Wendy Chu retains. We all have to go to the news to see who won that one. MJF defeats Cena Hardy. Brutus Creed retains. Lightning Storm defeats Mysterio Lang. CM Punk retains. Jason defeats Jungle Boy, and we'll have to go to the news. So who won? Nyla Rose won the Women's Royal Rumble, and Jason won the Men's. So Jason was like, I want a last man standing match. Why not enter the Royal Rumble and win? Next is Elimination Chamber. Let's see what matches we have for Elimination Chamber. We have Zack going one-on-one with Brandon Collins. Paragon going one-on-one with Penta. An Elimination Chamber match for the Women's Championship as Wendy Chu defends against Can Grajita Loca, Ruby Soho, Kayla, Brandi Lauren, and Meiko Satomura. Then we have Caddy Led versus Tommy Oliver. A fatal four-way between Ed Nothing, Lightning Storm, Brody King, and Troy Donovan. Mysterio Lang versus me. Billy versus Cody Rhodes. Jungle Boy versus Jason. CM Punk defends against Tony D'Angelo. And then we have an Elimination Chamber match as Brutus Creed defends against Kenny Omega, Andrade El Idolo, Madcap Moss, MJF, and Cena Hardy. So we have Zack defeating Brandon, Paragon defeating Penta, Brandi Lauren is the new women's champion, Tommy defeats Caddy Led, Lightning Storm wins that fatal four-way match, Mysterio Lang defeats me, Cody Rhodes defeats Billy, Jason defeats Jungle Boy, CM Punk is still North American champion, and MJF is the new world champion. On to Fastlane, where I think Jason will face MJF. And Nyla Rose will face Brandi Lauren. We have Cena Hardy versus Ed Nothing, Brutus Creed versus Brody King, Mysterio Lang versus me, Troy Donovan versus Billy, Kenny Omega versus Zack, Lightning Storm versus Brandon, Jason versus MJF for the championship, I was right, Carmelo Hayes versus CM Punk no holds barred match, and Can Grajita Loca versus Brandi Lauren. So we have Cena Hardy defeats Ed Nothing, Brutus Creed defeats Brody King, Mysterio Lang defeated me, Billy defeats Troy Donovan, Kenny Omega defeats Zack, Lightning Storm defeats Brandon, MJF retains, Carmelo Hayes is the new North American champion, and Brandi Lauren retains. Right before WrestleMania. WrestleMania time. We have Cena Hardy going one-on-one with Ed Nothing inside a steel cage. Nyla Rose gets her women's championship match against Brandi Lauren. Madcap Moss goes one-on-one with Andrade El Idolo. We have partners going one-on-one with each other. Oliver Carter versus Ashton Smith. Aaron Matthews goes one-on-one with Chris Danger. Caddy Led goes one-on-one with Tommy. Paragon goes one-on-one with me. Brandon goes one-on-one with Brody King. Troy Donovan goes one-on-one with Billy. Kenny Omega goes one-on-one with Lightning Storm. Mysterio Lang goes one-on-one with Cody Rhodes. Zack goes one-on-one with Brutus Creed. Carmelo Hayes defends the North American Championship against Justin. And MJF defends the World Championship against Jason. So we have Ed Nothing defeating Cena Hardy. Nyla Rose, the new women's champion. Madcap Moss defeats Andrade. Oliver Carter defeats Ashton Smith. Chris Danger defeats Aaron Matthews. Caddy Led defeats Tommy. Paragon defeated me. Brody King defeats Brandon. Troy Donovan defeats Billy. Kenny Omega defeats Lightning Storm. Mysterio Lang defeats Cody Rhodes. Zack defeats Brutus Creed. Carmelo Hayes retains. And MJF retains. So here are your final champions. Your final champions are World Champion MJF, North American Champion Carmelo Hayes, and Women's Champion Nyla Rose. But let's see. Let's see how long all of the champions held them for. So, stats for NXT champions. So we had Cody Rhodes, Zack, Billy, Brutus, and MJF. Billy only held the title for 28 days. MJF is 49. Cody was 56. And Brutus was 56. While Zack was 112 days. So Zack was the longest reigning world champion. Let's see who the longest reigning North American champion is between Jungle Boy, Justin, CM Punk, and Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes was 21 days, Justin was 28, CM Punk was 84, and Jungle Boy was 168. Alright, let's see the Women's Championship between Wendy Chu, Meiko Satomura, Brandi Lauren, and Nyla Rose. So, Brandi Lauren was champion for 49 days, Meiko Satomura was champion for 61 days combined, and Wendy Chu was champion for 191 days combined. That concludes today's video. I will see you whenever I post. Goodbye.